Ano pong feeling na umabot kayo sa 25 years?
Yes.
Yes. Sa marriage niyo po as pastors, what's one misconception people usually have sa marriage ng as a pastor po? What's one thing that causes marriage to fail? And how can couples break free from it?
Faith isn't just for Sundays. It's lived every day, in real moments that shape who we become. Here at Faith in Real Life podcast, we share real stories and honest conversations about faith. The wins, the losses, the joy, and the mess. All centered on walking with Jesus. Real conversations, real life, real faith in Jesus. This is Faith IRL.
Ano nga ba ang itsura ng godly marriage ngayon?
Hindi lang yung pang-Instagram or Facebook ha, but yung day-to-day. Through stress, misunderstandings, pagpapalaki ng kids, bills, all of it.
And bakit nga ba ang daming nasisirang marriages ngayon? And how can faith protect and strengthen our relationship?
That's what we're talking about today. How putting Jesus at the center changes the way we love, forgive, and grow together.
So stick around. Later, di-discuss natin yung mga common reasons bakit nagpe-fail ang marriages and what are the practical ways we can break that cycle. I am Ian.
And I am Marlene. Welcome to
Faith IRL.
Our guests are pastors from the senior leadership of DMI. Sila rin ang founders ng Love Without Borders Foundation at ang national coordinators ng Authentic Lives International. Deeply rooted in their faith, they serve as transformational speakers and coaches mula local communities hanggang global platforms. They minister to the youth, professionals, business people, and emerging leaders across various sectors. Nakapag-officiate na rin sila ng hindi mabilang na weddings. At until now, they are hands-on in guiding couples in their marriage as marriage counselors. In fact, they have been championing the marriage course since 2004 as well as family and parenting courses, helping couples and families grow stronger together. At home, they are proud parents to 4 beautiful daughters.
Grabe Marlene, no? Parang nung pinapakinggan ko, ang dami nilang accolades pero kasama natin sila today and what an honor to sit beside them right now. For the past 25 years now, married sila and they've been walking with the Lord. Let's welcome Pastor Ariel and Pastora Janneth.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Ian and Marlene.
Welcome po sa podcast.
Welcome po sa Faith
Pressure,
IRL.
It's only by the grace of God. Nandito kami sa harapan nyo. And indeed, it's been 25 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
By the grace and mercy of the
25
Lord.
and 7 years of friendship.
Yes.
So
32 years.
32 years. Beautiful years.
So congratulations po Pastor Ariel and Pastor Janneth for your 25 years. Grabe, hindi po madali ang 25 years. And ano pong feeling na umabot kayo sa 25 years?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a milestone.
It is.
25 years, maraming memories, maraming pagsubok, marami ring victories. But the Lord is good.
Curious lang po ako, no? Paano nyo sinaselebrate yung anniversary nyo? So mga 20 to 25 years, mga latter part, compared sa mga first years nyo, yung marriage nyo, paano nyo sinaselebrate?
Sa amin, importante kasi yung mga milestone. Importante sa amin, we celebrate. Not talaga yung celebration na malaki, but importante sa amin ang creating memories. So we go out, maalis kami, yung year by year. Pero yung 25 years natin, ano natin ginawa?
Gaya ng sinabi ng aking wife na we are intentional sa pag-create ng memories, especially birthdays, anniversaries. And of course, noong nag-25th year anniversary kami, it's a milestone. We planned kung paano namin i-celebrate. But at the same time, ayaw namin mag-create ng pressure to people looking at us. Na pagka 25 years, dapat kailangan ganito. But we celebrate in such a way na memorable sa amin pareho. That we can thank the Lord for His goodness and His faithfulness. 25 years yun.
Oh.
Diba?
Yeah. through the years, actually, hindi naman namin regular dati na sineselebrate siya. No? But then, there were times na nagkakaroon ka ng pagkalimot, di ba? So, nalilimutan mo pala, so nga ba tayo nag-date? So, sisingilin ko yung asawa ko. Diba? So, parang may utang siya. So, what we did, we became intentional na lang to celebrate and to have those memories. So, kailangan talaga may picture para to remind myself, dinate ko ng asawa.
Pag walang picture, hindi nangyari.
Hindi nangyari.
Kasi makakalimutin tayo.
Kailangan may ebidensya.
Ebidensya, tama yan.
Importante yan.
Para manalo sa kaso.
Tama.
Sa ano naman yan, it always depends with the availability of resources. That's why you have to plan ahead.
Yes.
Planning is important to celebrate anniversaries and birthdays sa buhay may asawa.
It doesn't have to be grand. Pwede siyang simple but memorable.
Yeah.
It's the quality. Basta may picture.
Basta may picture.
Priceless yung pictures.
Yes.
Priceless,
Okay.
priceless.
So, planning and picture matter, guys.
Yes.
Okay.
Yun daw yung key sa marriage.
Yun yun.
Picture it.
Picture it out.
Sa marriage nyo po as pastors, what's one misconception people usually have sa marriage ng as a pastor po?
Siguro pressure siya. Sige, ako muna mauna dagdagan ni Pastor Ariel. Being a pastor, maging pastor may pressure na agad that you have to be a model, that you have to be perfect in everything, walang bahid na pwedeng sabihin yung taong negative, no? So you always have to bear in mind. So it's pressure siya. But then, with that pressure, it's the mindset I just tweak it as an encouragement, as boundary that making things right. Hindi naman tayo perfecto, pero you tatama mo siya. And it became our challenge and encouragement to be a good couple. Kahit mahirap. Diba? Mahirap talaga. But there's a way. Yeah.
Maraming misconceptions. Feeling nila wala kami mga problemang hinaharap.
Ay, wala po ba? Ay, sorry po tayo.
So, just remove the title and we are the same with all the couples out there.
Yes.
And actually, it's more challenging because there's pressures. No? Nakakatulong din yun dahil minsan kailangan mo talagang mag-ayos kasi people look at you. And the title actually comes with responsibility. But we are the same. We also have problems with finances. We also have problems with kids. We also quarrel. Akala ng iba, pagka pastor ka, anointed ka na, hindi na kayo nag-aaway ng asawa mo. And that's not true. So, while in fact, the pressures and the challenges are real for us. And that's why we have to be conscious kasi alam mo lang talaga na the enemy will come to steal, to kill, to destroy. And if the enemy can destroy us as a couple, imagine the impact and influence to the people that look at us. So, maraming misconceptions. And hindi po kami immune sa pagsubok. Hindi kami immune sa mga problema. We do have. We cry. We fight. Yeah, but the Lord is gracious.
Yeah. If for those people na who knows us, no, the two of us, complete different kami. Ang brain ko nandito, ang brain niya andito. So we see
Opposite.
different things. So imagine if we tackle things outside our family. And for example, it's about deciding certain for the leadership or for the church. Iba yung idea niya, iba idea ko. So imagine that discussion. So but then we manage by God's grace to listen, to hear out one another. But of course, it's always everyday challenge
Yeah.
to hear, to listen.
Para sa mga makikinig, kagaya namin mga pastor, mahirap yung isang part na paano maging vulnerable. I think the most challenging part of us, no, aside sa mga misconceptions, is yung we are very careful to become vulnerable because it can be perceived in a different lens. Ayaw mo maging invincible ka na hindi ka nagkakamali, wala kang problema, but at the same time, ayaw din ng ibang tao na ang weak naman ng leader ko. So I think that line is very
The
thin
balance.
of showing how vulnerable you are because it can be perceived in a different lens. Kaya ang hirap maging pastor eh.
Oo nga po yan. Na-imagine ko lang.
Yes.
Oo nga. Tapos, di ba po yan, parang hindi ko ma-imagine na merong full-time pastor, no? Tapos meron pa kami na manage na kids, na mga na asawa. Parang, pag iniisip ko, may time pa ba sila kuya? Sila Pastor Ariel na gawin yung mga tungkulin nila sa mga ibang bagay. No? Inisip ko kasi pag pastor, parang full-time 24/7, kailangan mong may in-handle ka ng church. Lalo na kayo, di ba, pastor, na may pinaplan pa kayo, meron pa kayong churches all around. Paano nyo, ang galing lang, namamanage nyo yung ganung time, di ba?
Siguro doon papasok nga yung grace, yung faith, yung discussion natin today. So, imposible talaga siya without God. So, because of that, God will give you wisdom how to manage it, to be creative. How? For example, kaming dalawa, when we go together, we have a meeting, of course. So, sa car kami nagko-converse, doon namin nilalabas yung mga pwede kong sabihin sa kanya. And for the kids, ganun din, maximize, we bring along your kids so that they will see also kung paano kami. Mahirap lang pag lumalaki na yung mga anak kasi may choices na sila kung sasama sila o hindi. Yun yung another challenge ng pagiging pastor. Pagka dumating na sila sa puntong, they can decide for themselves. So,
Yeah. I think the most challenging part of being a pastor is the spiritual dimension. But when it comes to managing your 24 hours, it's also the same as people who are working or into business or as parents. I think pareho lang, we have 24 hours. The dynamics change when you begin to approach in such a way na dahil mayroong spiritual dimension. Yun yung part na iba. Kasi minsan talaga hindi mo maiwasan na yung sinasabi mong 24/7, nagpapahinga naman kami. Pero mayroon din naman kasi mga kumpanya, may mga boss na on-call din sila. So in that sense, mayroon pa rin pagkakapareho. Ganun din kami, on-call ka pagka kailangan talaga minsan. Pero yung aspect lang that make it very challenging is the spiritual dimension. But we've learned something along the process. How do you balance that you still have time for family, with your wife, with your kids? So how do you do this? I learned this with one leader, and sinabi niya na if you are with your kids, give your 100%. So wala kang ibang ginagawa, wala kang ibang inintindi, walang budget, so you could listen to them well. So in return, you also get 100%. So when you do ministry, just give it your best, your 100%. When you are with your wife, which ang hirap gawin, no? Minsan dahil wife kasama mo, minsan dali lang, no? Ang daming. But if you want to really engage, remove all the unnecessary distraction. So by doing that, it helps you to engage and have a good result in return. So yeah, time management pa rin hindi ako naniniwala sa isang pastor na 24/7 ministry lang inaatupag niya. Wala pong ganun. We don't want you to give you a wrong picture ng pastor ay lahat ng oras niya ay patungkol doon. Hindi po ganun. Normal din po kami. Kailangan mag-discipline, kailangan may time management. Tama ba?
yeah, and of course, ideal yung sinabi ni Pastor Ariel. It's very important that we have boundaries and clarity kung ano yun. But that's not happen na ganun siya. Yes, ito yung aming agreement. That's our agreement in the house, in kaming mag-asawa. But hindi siya nangyayari lagi-lagi. But at least you have that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you fail from that, na halimbawa, hindi ka naman talaga totally naging 100% sa anak mo that time o sa akin, hindi siya naging 100%. So ibig sabihin nun, may utang siya. Ayun. And then nagbabayad siya ng sobra. Yan.
Yeah, you need to be flexible.
You need to be flexible.
It's
a give and take.
Sinabi niya na
Gracious.
pag hindi mo nagawa, huwag mo naman ibit yung sarili mo, hindi mo nagawa.
Yes.
I think you could always catch up. So,
mahirap kung wala kang nakalagay, walang clarity kung ano yung dapat. We have that. Yan. So, mayroon kaming babalikan. If we fail, nagkulang kami, may babalikan kami.
meron siyang sisingilin.
Sino po yung mas madaming sisingilin kanino?
Ako lagi nagkukulang eh. Alam mo naman namin sinisingil siya.
Aminado ka.
Aminado.
Parang in-expect ko din yun.
Ayan, beat.
Magaling ako maningil.
Magaling din magbigay.
Hindi rin. Just kidding.
Ang kitilal.
Ayan. So we've talked about misconceptions. Nalaman natin ngayon na hindi perfect ang marriage ng pastors. At hindi rin daw po sila 24/7 sa ministry. So now let's talk about marriage. what is God's purpose on marriage? And how is it different from how the world defines it?
Very good question. First, marriage is a God's gracious gift for two imperfect people. It's a joining of two hearts are both imperfect. Very important to understand that they have entered into a covenantal relationship
Yes.
in order to experience the unconditional love of God being applied into your marriage. And I think the element of grace is so crucial in marriage because it is grace that makes you merciful, forgiving, and very important na maintindihan natin na gano'n, no, yung marriage. Yung purpose is, of course, magkaiba yung worldview saka yung view ng isang sumusunod sa Panginoon because our view of the purpose is to reveal how good God is in marriage. Yung kanyang nature, yung character ni Christ. Kasi, yun na nga, imperfect people, pagsasamahin mo, grabe, di ba? Di ba? And to the couple out there, you know what I mean, that in marriage, you see the good side and the ugly part. Because the worldview of marriage is, it talks about, or the emphasis about compatibility, romance, personal fulfillment. That's why we want to have kids, we want to have this, we have to have house, business. And sometimes, not only that, yung aspect of individual happiness. And when the other part or when spouses can no longer provide this happiness that they're looking forward, sometimes not only that posible na they can redefine, but oftentimes they end up the relationship. Kasi nga, what's the point of being together?
Hindi na ako masaya.
Hindi na ako masaya, di ba?
Ako.
While the perspective and the purpose of Christian marriage is different because the emphasis is commitment. The emphasis is serving your spouse. It's not what basically you can get, but how can you serve your partner? And it's as I mentioned a while ago, it's a practice of unconditional love. Doon pa lang, magkaiba na eh. It's not what you can get, but it's what you can give.
Almost sinabi naman ng perfect kong asawa. Almost.
Akala ko imperfect, perfect
Sabi ni
pala.
Faith, diba, close to perfection kasi he is close to the perfect one. Anyway, just to add with that, I believe the purpose of marriage, God bringing Adam and Eve together is because there's a call. It's fulfilling God's intention for partnership for Him to show Himself, His love, His creation, how majestic our God is. And in marriage, as what Ariel said, it's the same thing for us. It's for godly marriage is to do what God intends us to do. May calling ang bawat marriage. We measure success if we are doing what God is telling us to do. If we are in the very center of God's purpose of our marriage. If our intention for the success, if we measure our success sa marriage natin, is to have these material things, you have a big house, a car, a good business, something like that, and we measure our marriage with that, basically, it is the other view, the world view of marriage. So that simple.
Yes,
thing
I agree with that. It's also actually a journey to holiness.
Yeah. Wow. Perfect.
Because joining two imperfect people and ang asawa kasi, yung marriage mo, you cannot hide anything. Everything will show up. And it's a journey of forgiveness. It's a journey of loving again even if they fail. Ako talaga masasabi ko, for 25 years of marriage, may mga bagay na nabago sa akin, pero may mga bagay na hindi pa nababago. Patuloy na binabago. And you know that you're being purified because that aspect of your life is not pleasing to God. And only your wife or your spouse actually can reveal those issues you have. You cannot please you can please the people outside, but it's your partner who will tell you your ugly part. And that's why it's a journey to holiness.
Galing na kuya kasi Yun yung naririnig natin palagi, di ba, bago mag-asawa. Makikilala mo lang talaga yung isang tao pag nasa ilalim na kayo ng isang bubong. Kasi
Correct.
di ba, nakikita mo talaga sila araw-araw, alam mo yung tendency sila, alam mo yung reaction sila, alam mo para sila magalit.
Correct.
Di ba?
So you can see the difference of the perspective. Well, we're not saying they're lesser. All that they needed is to also go back to the original intent of God for marriage. And that is to reveal Himself, to glorify His name through us. And yeah, it's beautiful. When you have that understanding that marriage is about becoming like Christ, then obstacles and challenges, you look at it in a different perspective.
Di ba yung marriage naman kasi, hindi naman siya puro happy dito, happy-go-lucky na mag-date kayo dito, uwi kayong masaya, lalabas kayong masaya. Based on reaction niya, no? Alam naman natin hindi totoo, di ba? Pag pumasok tayo sa marriage, talagang may stretch tayo, di ba?
Yes.
Yung capacity natin may stretch. Lalo na ako nung kinasal kami ni Annette. And for the people listening, sila din nag-officiate ng kasal namin. No? So thank you po. Ayan, pero nung kinasal na kami ng asawa ko, na-stretch ako. Kung nakilala niyo ako nung single pa lang ako, mahilig talaga ako mag-games. Hindi na siya healthy, parang gano'n.
Walang tulugan pa yan.
Ayan. Pero nung nag-asawa na ako, syempre, mababawasan na yun. Meron ka ng isang soul na kailangan mong i-attend to. Madami kang magagawang sacrifice eh. Naalala ko nung nag-usap kami nung Annette nung one time bago kami ikasal. Kasi BPO pa rin ako, no? Call center agent pa rin ako nun. So, puyat ako palagi. Sabi ko sa kanya nun, hindi ako forever ganito. Pag kinasal na kami, hanap na ako ng ibang work para magkaroon ng time. Although, comfortable ako nung time na yun, lalo na yung night difference. Pero, kailangan mong i-give up. Kasi kailangan mo ng time sa asawa mo kasi minsan yun ang madalas namin pinag-aawayan. Natutulog ako, siya gising. Nakikita na lang kami kapag paalis na siya ng bahay, papasok na siya sa work. So,
Yes.
parang mag-overlap lang yung oras namin, 30 minutes lang. Tapos uuwi siya, ako mag-work na. So, hindi siya ideal situation. No? Alam naman natin yan. Pero, paano na-shape yung marriage nyo, yung relationship nyo with God through the years?
Since nakwento mo yung how you started as couple, we have this ni Ariel, no, that was 25 years ago. A night before our official wedding, we had a covenant with the Lord, the three of us. No, nagsulat kami kung ano yung mga agreement namin mag-asawa and it's sealed by God. Nakalista lahat doon. Ano yung mga non-negotiables, ano yung commitment namin sa bawat isa at kay Lord. So, isa doon is hindi namin pag-aawayan ng pera, hindi namin pag-aawayan ng in-laws. Makapaka-ideal, no? Hindi kami matutulog kasi 'di ba sabi nga huwag matutulog ng galit. So hindi kami forgiving. So things like those. And then magkano yung pwede ako mag-decide if mag-help ako sa aking pamilya, siya din, anong amount, pagka gantong amount, beyond this amount, kailangan na ng agreement ng bawat isa. We had those. And then, parang sinign up pa namin yung mag-asawa. No? Nasa na siya. So anyway, andito siya sa puso isip namin. And through the years, because our relationship, we built it with God, nandun lagi si Lord. Imposible talagang maging successful ang marriage without the Lord.
Yeah.
Yung journey mo, mahirap talaga siya, imposible talaga siya kasi magkaiba kayo, magkaiba ang background nyo, magkaiba pa kami ng personality and brain preference namin magkaiba talaga. So imagine without God. It's God's faithfulness with all those things. Wala akong maasabi kundi ang kabaitan ng Panginoon. No?
Actually, you said it very well. You said, mahirap gawin pag wala ang Lord. Imposible actually. Many marriages end up in divorce or annulment. It's very challenging. When you embrace the truth coming from the Bible or from the Scripture, yung foundation ng marriage mo ay doon ang gagaling. Mag-grow ka talaga. Kasi ang marriage is also, very much part of marriage is forgiveness. That's where you practice forgiving your wife every day with the same mistake. So parang pag yung sinabi ni Peter, how many times you will forgive? 7 times 7. It's actually 70 times 7 with the same mistake. So every day, nag-usap na kayo, may iyakan, may prayer, tapos bukas gagawin mo ulit. It's the best way to grow in patience, to grow in character. It's a journey to holiness. And it's just so impossible na wala yung grace. You cannot do it. So, yung grace ay kakayanan nyo na galing sa Lord. Natanggapin. Kami naman, yung journey namin, may mga season kami na parang gusto mo na mag-give up eh. Sinabi mo lang, give up, pero mamaya okay na naman kayo, di ba? Because, alam mo lang na hindi. It helps us to grow and mature. may mga bagay na na-outgrow ka na long time ago, pero may mga bagay pa rin na binabattle kayo. Na same thing pa rin nung umpisa ng marriage niyo. Ang problem kasi it comes with intensity and magnitude. So minsan akala mo okay na kayo doon, pero pag mas malaki pala, mas malaki yung problema, same problem, pero makikita mo rin na meron pa rin gano'n. So it's a continuous thing. I think part of that we still have that kind of pressure. We're still here on earth. So hindi na, wala namang immune sa atin. But because the Lord is faithful and He's faithful to His promises, then you can hold on to that, and that makes you grow and mature and to choose your marriage.
Galing lang, no? Sana ginawa din namin yung listahan din before gabi. Pastor Ariel, meron akong, habang nag-research ako, ay nakita kong quote na sabi, the way you love your spouse impacts deeply. Sabi doon na one day, you will answer to God. Anong masasabi niyo doon, Kuya?
With your question, I couldn't agree more. As Ephesians 5:25 said, that husband love your wife. I believe the pursuit, if He is love, is how to become love. All of us, not only pastors, but we are encouraged to become like Christ. And to be like Christ is to become love. So in essence, sa marriage, ang daling sabihin but very challenging. Like me, doon mo rin makikita talaga how selfish we are. That we the self always goes or wants to go at the center. And if you are not conscious, because love is intentional, and it's not about feeling, it's about actually committing yourself to love. Kaya nga, it's all connected, becoming holy or becoming the love that you experience, unconditional love. Totoo talaga yon na ang tanong, paano mo minahal yung asawa mo? Paano ka nagmahal? Is it Christ-like or only you? Our love will not be sufficient. Pang-ano lang yan, pang ilang buwan lang yan, or probably isang linggo lang yan. If you're just trying to vouch for the feeling that you have, the love that you have, it's not gonna work. But when you let the love of God flow in your heart, that love, that unconditional love, actually has a power to influence the way you live, the way you act, and the way you relate to your wife. Tama ba?
Yeah. Through the years, alam ko lang kung paano ang expression ng love ng asawa ko. For men, greater is your responsibilities to love, right? Kami mga babae will just respond the way you love us. And with Ariel, I just know how he expresses love. This is the way he loves. And with him doing that, I know he's expressing his love. And there are things that we women require more, right? The unconditional love and papasok. And I just know, of course, mga kababaihan dyan, no, mga wives, we just know when they're doing this, they are loving us beyond themselves. And it comes from the Lord alone. And with that, it's a wow for us. Yung submission, di ba? We are required to submit, right? We can submit because they are men and because they are the father of the house. It's a requirement. But then, submission because of the love that you bestow to us, it's a different thing. And I believe this is a challenge, the tension between the couples. Loving the wife unconditionally because we are really, we are very high maintenance in some way, different because we are really, because you have to love us. Jesus said to us that you have to love us because we are one, vulnerable or we are delicate.
Our love as men will always be deficient.
Yes.
I'll tell you, it wouldn't be enough. That's why the way that we allow God to love on us and fill our hearts would also the level that we could release this to our wives or our spouses and our children. And if that one part is always deficient, that we're not allowing God to love on us, we are not overflowing, it will be so hard.
Marriage, you can still stay together. Buo ang pamilya, may father, may mother, may mga anak, and they can just stick together. But without that love, wala na yung love. Pwede naman eh. But if you really want marriage that comes from the Lord, unconditional love.
Yes.
It's only by Him.
May naalala ko dati na sinabi ng pastor na yung women daw, they're naturally multipliers.
Yes.
Tapos yung lalaki, nakalimutan ko na yung men.
And women, they have the womb. So
they multiply.
basically, they are the one multiplying. So if you give them love, they will multiply the love. If you will give them resources or money, they will create a meal. So whatever that we're giving them, we give them a small problem or worry, they will multiply the worry. They are basically multiplier.
Then choose.
Everything. So, can you imagine, no, if you are not providing them what they needed, they can multiply the things that we're not supposed to have.
Oo nga ko eh. Kasi parang naalala ko ang sinabi mo kanina na pag di mo nare-receive yung love of God, di mo rin siya mabibigay sa wife mo.
Yes.
Diba? Parang hindi niya kaya yung ma-multiply. So, kaya ang galing lang na i-circles back na sa grace lang talaga yung love ni God na pag-stick yung yung relationship niyo or yung marriage niyo.
For us women, wives, no? What if our husband failed to love the way we want to be loved? Does it mean that we will not submit? So this is the same challenge for us. It's our responsibility, it's our call. Not if nakulang yung asawa nating lalaki, it's our responsibility
To receive love from him as well.
Yeah. So if one fails, the other has to stand up.
Let's say for example, nagkaroon ng conflict. No? Hindi naman palaging happy yung marriage. No? Pag nagkaroon ng conflict, how does faith deepen you the way you forgive and work things out?
As I said a while ago, no, we have this mga 1 to 10, no. Isa talaga doon is do not let the sun go down with this thing. Pwede kang magalit, pero huwag kang magkasala. Through the years, talaga nagpupuyatan kami nun, no.
So, ibig sabihin,
We resolve.
Kung hindi pa kayo...
Hindi kami natutulog.
Wala tugan.
Yes.
po
Back
kayo,
then.
umabot kayo kinabukasan?
Hindi naman, hanggang alas 5 yung
Pinakaling.
Yes.
5 in the morning, yes.
No, hindi talaga
At least di pa kayo natutulog.
Yes.
Katalikod lang ako sa higaan.
Imagine our beds, ang measure niya
Hindi naman.
ganan. Ganan siguro, yung ganan. Payat pa tayo nun di ba? Japanese bed yun. May frame naman. So imagine pag magkagalit kami, magkatalikuran kami.
Naranasan niyo po ba yung may unan sa gitna?
Hindi pa.
Di ba?
Hindi pa naman. By God's case. Pero ngayon, nararanasan na natin dahil masasakit na yung aming matanda na. That's our commitment. Na pagka nagkagalit kami, hindi pa pwede matutulog sa ibang room or whatsoever. Nire-resolve namin. Pero through the years, hindi tama to na napupuyat. So nangyari, nagbabati kami, but we have to resolve. Kasi yun naman yung
Further
help ng
discuss.
pagiging pastor, no, na pagiging leader. We cannot face anyone. Kami, sasakyan kami nag-away, nagka-diskusyonan. Ayaw namin ng bababa ng sasakyan, hindi kami bate. This is the way God gave us that conviction of what we do not go out from the place kung saan kami nag-away, hindi kami bate. Maybe hindi yung growth na hanggang naging pastor kami. Dahil hindi pa naman tayo pastor nun, di ba? Through the years na mag-pastor kami, bit-bit namin siya.
Sabihin ko ulit, is by the grace of God. Alam mo lang kasi pag hindi ka nag-resolve ng problem, pag nanakawan ka ng kaaway. So imagine, yung masayang araw, hindi kayo nagbate. So sayang yung moment. Naapektuhan ang work mo, naapektuhan ang mga anak mo. That's why self-denial in marriage is so crucial. And yung power ng forgiveness. Hayaan mo lang yung galit sa puso mo, napapagnakawan kayo. So by doing so, na-strengthen talaga yung marriage, nag-grow kayo. Wala namang talagang pagkakataon na hindi kayo magkaintindihan minsan. Nangyayari talaga yun. Pero it's your ability how to resolve that, how to navigate the difficult situation. Yun yung agreement namin. And by the grace of God, hindi po ako tumatayo sa platform na kami ay magkaaway. Through the years, wala akong recall na tumayo ako sa isang setting na hindi kami nag-ayos. So,
If time fails, through chat, he will say, sorry, I forgive you. So
at
thank you
least
for
bago
the-
ka, malapit na, ilang minutes na lang, di ba?
Mas yung details.
Pero basta importante, resolve kayo. Kasi we believe that yung heart natin, whatever that goes inside mo, lumalabas din yan. So if you are not careful, we're also trying to release this to other people. Marami kaming misunderstanding. Hindi namin kinakaya yan. But we do resolve our problem.
And our kids witnessed that. Outspoken kami sa I'm so happy with Ariel kasi he allowed me to express myself, diba? And then my kids, kilala yung mga anak ko, so they are so expressive. And one good thing is they resolve things out. So dala nila yun sa school. If may mga conflict, they resolve it.
Marami tayong napapanood sa TV, sa social media about themes of infidelity, maraming marriage breakdown. So from what you've seen from your counseling experiences, what's one thing that causes marriage to fail? And how can couples break free from it?
I think it's not only one thing. Many things actually.
Many things.
But the one probably major is pride.
Right.
When pride is at the center, then it will be so hard to ask for forgiveness. it's hard to listen. You always wanted to push your opinion
Your rights.
that you are right. Everything becomes difficult when pride is at the center. And actually, the reason why Lucifer fell because of pride. And it's the same thing that in marriage, what can cause a marriage is when you're not willing because of pride.
When the couple stops communicating, the foundation of marriage kasi is friendship. When you stop communicating, friends communicates, right? So you tell your secrets and all. If there's something na nangyari sa'yo na very important, and you are looking for some other person, your other friends, to share it. If it's not your wife or your husband, oops, there's something wrong. So first and foremost, you always the open communication, being transparent.
Lack of communication, unresolved issues. So when there's pride at the center, it will be so hard to release forgiveness or ask for forgiveness. So actually lahat doon kukunik mo na lahat. Like, ayaw ko na sa'yo eh. Yung pride mo, ayaw ko na rin sa'yo. So pangangatawanan mo yun. Kaya nga dahil pride, walang humility of admittance. No, I cannot live without you. I cannot let go of you. So kung yun yung ganun yung nangyayari, pag pride talaga, grabe, it cancels a lot of things. Yung communication, it will be so hard to communicate pag kayo nandun yung pride. Hindi ka nakikinig, di ba? Lahat yun, yung attitude mo lalabas. So I think kung may babantayan yung mag-asawa so that we can avoid things like what you just shared, bakit nag-fail yung marriage, is to really always seek God, to ask His grace and His mercy. Because hindi naman talaga madali yun. Humility is not part of the fruit of the Holy Spirit. It's an active part of us. Meaning you have to humble down. You have to put yourself there. Like, okay, masakit to, pero sige, magsasorry ako. Sige, admit ko.
Kami, halimbawa, no, maano mo pag may pride na, pagka may issue, then sabihin mo, ito yung ako ito yung sinabi ko Hindi, ito sinabi ko So you are very self-centered ka. Learn how to give up our rights to be right, something like that.
Yes.
So at times, maliit na bagay, huwag na natin pag-awayan. So, but it's hard to do that. Parang ideal na huwag na natin pag-awayan, pero pag andun ka, mahirap. Yeah.
Basically, it reveals the heart. Pag hindi ka rin okay sa Lord, hindi ba? How could you extend love and grace when you're not okay? It's so hard.
So basically, nagpe-fail. If walang Lord, babalik tayo doon. It will fail without the Lord.
Our part of growing a relationship with the Lord is crucial in growing our marriage.
Yeah.
Meaning, remove the title. All of us who are followers of Jesus, mahalaga yung you grow your relationship. Grow in experiencing His love, His goodness. Kasi yun din ang share mo sa marriage.
Siguro mag-add ako doon. No? Why fail? Bakit hindi nagko-communicate? Kasi wala lang longing or excitement to spend time with one another. Just like the times na nililigawan mo siya, pinupuso mo siya. If wala na yung ganong endearment, wala na yung ganong longing, isa mga mga checklist, mga signs. If you don't want to spend time, if you don't want to share the things that you are precious sa'yo, iba na hinahanap mo, those are the signs.
I think I like po yung shinare ni Pastor Ariel na how he compared yung kung paano nag-fall si Lucifer dun sa marriage. Na totoo nga, no? Na Lucifer fell because of pride, and not just only in marriage, but I think everything will fall because of pride. And nakakatuwa po yung sinabi niyo na you have to give up your rights to be right. And na-mention niyo po na may seasons in life sa marriage na naghahanap ka na you're longing for the things that you were used to before. Siguro na nagliligawan kayo, yung endearment nyo, yung time nyo together, yun po, no? For couples who feel stuck or tired, na parang, paulit-ulit na lang kaming nag-aaway, paulit-ulit na lang tong issue na to, how they can start again and rebuild. Kasi minsan kapag paulit-ulit na, parang pagod ka na eh. Parang, it's easy to give up. Tama na, wala na pupuntahan to, pagod na tayo, let's just end this. Pero yun po, how will couples start and rebuild?
When you enter to that stage na ng marriage mo, you have to really pause, evaluate. If there's one habit namin, Ariel, no, we recalibrate. And there are times na mahirap marinig pag nag-recalibrate kami, no. What are the things na kailangan kong baguhin? Sige, game. Magkasabihan ka. Ang sakit, diba? Parang gano'n siya.
Ang sakit.
May mga kailangan kong baguhin. Kailangan siya. Kailangan talaga yung matest yung heart of humility. No? You have to pause so that you will be aware ano yung kailangan gawin. Balik lang talaga ulit sa Lord. The author of marriage. Sa Kanya naman lahat.
Yes.
Sa Kanya lahat yan.
Giving yourself a break. Sabi nga, pag pagod ka, magpahinga ka. Nakakatulong yung yung walang agenda. Plan kayo, pwede ba lumabas tayo? Asyon. Wala nga pag-usapan, huwag muna pag-usapan yung mga problema natin. Nandyan lang yan eh. Choosing is very important. Choose each other. Kasi relationship is very intentional. And I believe yung mga rhetoric na nangyayari sa marriage, paulit-ulit lang. Kasi ganun pa rin yung approach eh. Hindi nga nagbago, di ba? Pareho lang naman na yung approach.
Lagi ka lang ganun.
Hindi ka nag-change. Mga ganyan. Kasi pareho lang naman yung approach. And sometimes it also helps if you feel stuck in the marriage or in your marriage, maganda rin makarinig sa iba. Kasi, alam mo kasi minsan feeling mo ikaw lang yung dumadaan sa ganun. And when you feel like, we're not alone. We're normal.
Sorry, because that's our experience before. Kasi we grew up in a holy, we started in college. Pagka Kristiyano, nag-asawa, hindi nag-aaway kasi holy, di ba?
Perfect.
But during our first years of marriage, because of our differences, our marriage is failing. That's how we will,
Kasi nag-aaway kami.
Nag-aaway kami. So, we are
Hindi naman
failing.
araw-araw, but hindi normal nag-aaway tayo.
Sa tingin natin, right?
Parang-
But when we entered that community, the 3 couples, and we started the marriage course, and then we have this conversation, darling, normal tayo.
Nakakatulong yun
It
na,
helps.
di ba?
Yes.
Na mayroon kayong ibang couples na nakakausap. Isolation in marriage is very dangerous also. So you need to have a community of people who share the same values. And sometimes just listen. Try to ask questions because it will help. Because yun nga, nakikita mo rin, lahat pala dumadaan kami sa proseso. And when you feel like you're at the end of the road, pagod ka na, parang ayaw mo na, pause talaga. Mag-pause ka. Hindi pwede talagang tanggalin sa equation yung relationship mo sa Lord. Kasi as you are being refreshed with your relationship with God, mayroong bagong energy. May bago kang hope na dala-dala that you can infuse in your marriage. So pag wala yun, pagod ka sa relationship mo sa Lord, pagod ka sa asawa mo, wala na. It's easy to give up. Community is very crucial. Being intentional is very crucial. If you feel like that you're stuck, then pause. Be intentional of pull back. Look at all the angles. Ano yung mga bagay na parang nami-miss out mo? Lagi ka nang nagdanag, lagi ka nang sumisigaw. Parang teka, ako palang may issue. So yung evaluation pa lang would help you na ma-realize mo, may mali na akong ginagawa. This is not healthy. Pause is a very important one. It's like a rest and work. The level of your rest will also be the engagement of your work. Hindi lang puro work or puro rest. Very crucial yung part na yun. Mag-pause, mag-ask ng community.
Isa ko din na-realize ko yun na parang ang expectation ko na pag individual ka, hindi ka pwedeng mag-isolate, di ba? Di ba? Huwag ka mag-isolate pag Christian ka. Same din pala sa marriage.
Yeah.
No? Kala ko kasi, hindi naman ako nag-isolate, kasama ko naman yung asawa ko eh.
Kasi isa na kayo, di ba?
Isa na kaya. Okay.
Yeah.
I like po that you mentioned na it's important to take a break, to pause. Kasi madalas, kahit ako, guilty ako, ang hirap mag-pause. Kasi feeling ko, meron akong hindi magagawa. Feeling ko, mas masusolusyonan yung mga bagay kung hindi ako titigil. Pero, based on sa shinare nyo po, importante pala na mag-pause and mag-take ng break. Ayun po. So, if you could leave everyone anything that you think ay importante sa marriage at sa faith, sa ating listeners and viewers, what would it be?
Keep the faith. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. Marriage is a picture of God's love towards His people. Imagine, even if we are so stubborn, we are so hard-headed, He never stopped loving us. So that unconditional love. And that's the same picture of marriage. Let's not give up with our marriage. There are many things that's happening around, but if we keep our faith, because there is God. His love is our basis. So marriage is not kept by perfect seasons, but faithful choices. Faithfully choosing to love, to forgive, and what else? Prayer and covenant. The same that Jesus, our God, is covenanted to us forever. It never ends. So God is at work even when the journey feels so hard. So there's no impossible. We can make things right with Him. Yeah, so go.
Yeah, for me, marriage is such a blessing. It's an opportunity to experience the unconditional love of God. And how can you demonstrate that? Because marriage is the closest picture of His covenant to us, the covenantal love of God. As my wife mentioned, never give up, never quit. I think it's important to highlight that if you give room for quitting in your marriage, then that room will eventually be visited and probably you will quit. But when you don't give that room or option to quit, then you would always allow God to empower you, to give you grace so that you could face what the relationship in the future looks like. And that grace is so crucial that will enable us to choose every day to remain faithful to the vows that we had made at His altar. Very crucial to remain faithful to the promises we have given to the Lord.
Thank you po for joining us and sharing your hearts with us. We've learned so much, and
Sa mga listeners natin, if you have friends or if you know couples na na-bless dito sa message or they need to hear yung sinabi ng mga pastors namin, then you can share this podcast to them.
yes, and remember, faith isn't just for Sundays.
It's lived out in real life.
See you next time on
Faith IRL.